Well, what does my tattoo mean? It is a field generator, kind of. It's a field generator. Point yourself in a direction and go that direction. Don't waver. Something out of nothing and something are parts of the same thing. They each create each other, and also you have to allow for things to change, because that is the nature of the world. Everything is in constant change, including your flow of thoughts, your cells, your blood, your breath. Everything about you is in constant change. Constant change. Everything is. The world is. So, you know how you wake up every day with different moods, and you can have several different moods during the day. As you develop a habit and a consistency and a persistence in, self-development, and really the habit that you need to develop is simply self-observation. That's it. And if you can, take your emotion, try and look at yourself objectively. And, because when we look at ourselves subjectively, we've made so many mistakes, we always tend to hurt ourselves, beat ourselves up again after that mistake has been made. Looking back, we relive the painful experiences, and then we call ourselves, oh, I was such a doofus, or I was so stupid. Instead, we need to look at ourselves objectively, without the emotion attached, and we can feel a tinge of pain, but we don't need to, and that'll fade in time, but we don't need to, start calling ourselves names and then reliving that mental state. There's no reason for that. And so that's kind of along the lines of forgiveness, self-forgiveness. Forgive yourself and move on. You may not forget right away, but you can forgive and realize that everything's always changing. You did that in that moment. You're always seeking to improve, of course. So that's a mistake you learn from, but you don't need to beat up yourself again and again and again over it. You observe yourself objectively if you can. And so as you develop that habit through consistency and persistence of self-observation, preferably objective self-observation, but a good mixture of both, subjective and objective, you will eventually start reaching a more level state of being. You won't have big, huge ups and downs. Now, I'm just speaking personally. I can't say this is for everybody, but in my experience, the better I got at knowing myself, the more I knew myself, the more I just self-observed and calmed down and sought to think positive thoughts, essentially. And the more I realized that my state is much more balanced and level every day in a positive state. I wake up joyful. I wake up full of anticipation for the day. Grateful for the things I have, in a good mood, ready to get to work, ready to do something productive, because I self-observe every day. And of course, everybody wakes up with a little bit of a funk. Some days you might wake up being angry or, sad. You gotta roll with it. And you gotta know that tomorrow's going to be a different day, or later that day's going to be a different day, or it's going to pass. Everybody in the world gets the funk. It's how you deal with it. It's essentially, rolling with it, essentially, and doing your best that day in your funk. And you'll be fine. The whole world is like that. The whole entire world, so you're not alone. Everybody's got the funk. And that's kind of where faith and belief and just confidence comes in, that everything's going to be okay. I know everything's going to be okay is kind of a broad statement, but you can know that, just because you're in a bad mood and just because you don't feel exactly the same way as yesterday, you're still in a moment of creation. You're still in a moment of decision and choice. And it may feel a little harder because you're in more of a funk. That's okay. Still continue to make the small positive choice, even if it hurts a little more that day, and just do your best. Everything changes, and everything is changing always. And roll with change. Don't try and remain static. If you get into a blissful feeling, and this is why people get stuck in drugs, and why I got stuck in alcohol, is because these drugs can give you any drug, can give you such a good feeling that you want it to last forever, right? So then you have to take the drug continually to get lost in that blissful state, because the blissful state feels so good. But the thing is, that's such a static state. The real bliss in this world is being grounded in reality, thinking positive thoughts, harmonious thoughts, confidence thoughts, having powerful thoughts, and simply being calm and peaceful. Inner calm and inner peace is, I swear to you, much, much more blissful than any drugs you're ever going to want to have in your life. And that's all within your control. It's completely, 100% in your control. In your brain. In our brains. In our brain, we have control. Now, it might take a little bit of practice to get control. Here's where you start. It's really simple. Objective self-observation. Try and look at yourself and your thoughts objectively, as though you're a third person looking down or looking at yourself. And of course, as always, I cannot emphasize this enough, read the first 2 chapters of the Master Key System and the 2 exercises. There's 1 exercise at the end of chapter 1, and there's 1 exercise at the end of chapter 2. And these exercises will change your life. They'll bring you that inner peace. They will bring you that blissful feeling without the drugs. You will know calmness, you'll know peace, and you'll get to know harmony, and you will calm your mind and your body enough with just these 2 exercises alone. It's all you need until you're ready to advance. So don't rush, because I took plenty of time. Just take your time getting these first 2 Master Key System exercises down. And when you do that, that will bring you, as I said just now, peace, harmony, calmness, and stillness, so that you can get in touch with the real you and be relaxed and go with the flow and not talk negatively about yourself and to yourself. And you'll be on the right track, and you'll rise up and join the minority of the people in the world who know how to control their brains. So control your brains, your brain in your skull and the brain in your solar plexus, and you control your solar plexus by conscious thought in your brain and your skull, and it's completely within your control, 100% in your control. God, if you believe in God, God made you in control of your own brain. You can literally shape, craft, mold, do, be, have anything that you desire. So get on that. It's your brain. Take ownership of it. All you got to do to take ownership of it is self-observation. And you'll learn how to do that either right now, because you just decided, I'm going to self-observe myself from now on, or you're going to read chapters 1 and 2 of the Master Key System and do the exercises. That's how you take control of your brain. It's 100% your control. If you don't believe in God, you must know that there's profound science behind the brain. You must know that it's created everything that we live in the world today, right? Created the locomotive, explosives, toothpicks, computers. Our brains write, they communicate, they love, they think, and we know that science is coming a long way in studying the brain, and simply by experiment, you can experiment yourself with self-observation and see if it makes a difference in your life. Use the scientific method, see if it makes a difference in your life. Use Master Key System chapters 1 and 2, the exercises in chapters 1 and 2, and physically, literally get control of your brain and your body. And you tell me, try it for 30 days or 60 days, perform your own experiment, and you do these exercises with scientific rigidness, and you tell me if you don't see and feel a difference in the efficiency of your own mind and body and spirit, if you will, spirit of, acting, your joie de vie, and also your happiness, your emotional state. You tell me, you perform the experiment. So our brain is however you look at it, it's a divine gift. I mean, think about it. We are the only species on the entire planet that we know of that looks up and observes the stars and gets lost in space, right? You don't see dogs doing that or cats. So that's just a side thought I had. But we have a divine gift with our brain and our solar plexus. A human being it's a special animal, and we are the only animal that can create stuff out of what we have around us. Hence, every invention since the beginning of time. So, scientifically, it's valid. Otherwise, we wouldn't have the stuff that we have. And spiritually, it's valid because those of you who are, believers have faith in God, and you know that God has a profound plan, and that God made you in His image, and that is a creator. God made you a creator. If we are made in God's image, we are made creators. You have complete creative control over your own life, and you can affect the lives of others. You can't, take control of anybody else's mind. That's completely impossible. But your own world, your own universe is 100% in control by you. You are 100% in control. That was kind of a funny sentence. Like God, you too are a creator. We were made in His image. The human body is a profound thing. Thomas Edison said that the main function of the body is to carry around the brain. And I think he was right. The brain is so important. If your hands can manipulate clay, your brain can manipulate your very essence of your life. Okay? Is that a good analogy? You use your hands to play the guitar. You use your hands to play the piano. Yes, you also use your brain to understand how to use the guitar and the piano, because those are inventions, after all. But just as you use your hands to, say, grow vegetables, forage for food, kill animals, fix supper, bang rocks together, start a fire, if we were to go back to, before we really had tools and inventions. Just as you use your hands for that, you use your brain to feed your life and shape your life as you see fit. Is that a good analogy? I mean, it's a mechanism. Your brain is a mechanism. It's not you. It's like your hands. It's a tool of you. You are the chooser. You are the decider, the decision maker. You are the maker. You are the creator. Your brain is the tool that you use to make anything. Your brain is the tool that you use to create. You are the chooser, though. You choose. So I hope that puts some things into perspective. I recommend listening to this again and again. And if you have any questions, please message me and go ahead and get started right away on self-observation, because it will change your life. I'm telling you. You get in control of your mechanism, your brain mechanism, and your life will radically change. I look forward to talking to you, my friend, and I wish you all the best in your studies and your ventures of owning yourself completely and taking complete control of your God-given gifts. Till next time. Thanks for listening.